A trip to the beach. I went to the beach with my family. The sand was soft and the water was cool. I built sand castles and collected seashells. We enjoyed the waves and ate ice cream. The sunset was beautiful. It was a perfect day, and I loved every moment of it. Helping others. Helping others makes me happy. I help my parents at home, and I help my friends in school. When I see someone in need, I try to be kind. Even small help, like sharing food or books, can bring joy to others. Helping people makes the world better. The joy of sharing. Sharing makes people happy. When I share my toys, my friends smile. I also share my lunch with those who forget theirs. It feels good to help others. Sharing is a small act, but it brings joy to everyone. A kind heart is the best thing to share. A visit to my grandparents. I love visiting my grandparents. They tell me interesting stories and give me sweets. My grandmother cooks delicious food, and my grandfather takes me for walks. I feel safe and happy at their house. Spending time with them is always special. I love my grandparents a lot. My favorite hobby. My favorite hobby is painting. I love using different colors to create beautiful pictures. Painting makes me feel happy and relaxed. I paint nature, animals, and my family. Sometimes I gift my paintings to my friends. My hobby helps me express my feelings in a creative way. 5 more minutes. I didn't want to study. I felt lazy and tired. But instead of giving up, I told myself, just 5 more minutes. I set a timer. When the alarm rang, I felt better, so I kept going. That little trick helped me complete a full hour of studying. If something feels too big, make it smaller. Just 5 more minutes. That's all it takes to move forward. I started using it every day for cleaning, reading, or exercising. It became easier to begin when the goal was small. Sometimes 5 minutes turned into 20. Other times it didn't, but at least I had started. That's what matters. I learned that starting is the hardest part. A brave act. One day, my friend fell while playing. Everyone was scared, but I quickly ran to help. I called a teacher, and she took care of him. Later, my friend thanked me. I felt happy and proud. Being brave means helping others, even when things seem difficult. The magic of books. Books take us to different worlds. They teach us new things and improve our imagination. I love reading stories about adventures and heroes. Books are my best friends. They never get old, and I can read them again and again. Reading makes me happy and smarter. The kind stranger. One day, I got lost in the market. A kind man helped me find my parents. He spoke gently and made me feel safe. My parents thanked him for his kindness. I learned that small acts of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. My grammar struggles. Grammar used to be very hard for me. At first, I didn't understand anything. Past tense, present tense, future tense all confused me. I made mistakes. A lot of mistakes, but I kept going. I read grammar books. I watched grammar videos. I repeated simple sentences. I go. I went. I will go. Again and again. It was slow. It wasn't easy, but I didn't give up. I told myself, mistakes are okay. I laughed at my own mistakes. I learned from them. Every day, I improved, one small rule at a time. Grammar is still tricky, but now I'm not afraid of it anymore. I face it with practice. I face it with patience. I struggled, but I learned. 5 more minutes. I didn't want to study. I felt lazy and tired. But instead of giving up, I told myself, just 5 more minutes. I set a timer. When the alarm rang, I felt better, so I kept going. That little trick helped me complete a full hour of studying. If something feels too big, make it smaller. Just 5 more minutes. That's all it takes to move forward. I started using it every day for cleaning, reading, or exercising. It became easier to begin when the goal was small. Sometimes 5 minutes turned into 20. Other times it didn't, but at least I had started. That's what matters. I learned that starting is the hardest part.
The power of kindness. Kindness is a small act with a big impact. A simple smile, a kind word, or helping someone can brighten another person's day. Kindness builds strong friendships, spreads hope, and makes the world a better place. But in today's busy world, we sometimes forget to be kind. When we ignore others' feelings, it can lead to sadness and loneliness. Even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference. A kind gesture can bring comfort, reduce stress, and lift someone's mood. Kindness also helps us feel better, both in heart and mind. That's why we should practice kindness every day. It doesn't cost anything to be kind, but it creates happiness for everyone. My family. My family is very loving and caring. We live together in a happy home. My parents take care of me, and my siblings are my best friends. We eat meals, play, and share stories together. My family supports me in everything. I love my family very much. A rainy day. A rainy day feels calm and refreshing. The sky is filled with gray clouds, and gentle raindrops dance on the ground. I love sitting by the window, watching the rain fall quietly. People walk with colorful umbrellas, creating a beautiful scene. Children laugh and splash in puddles, their joy echoing in the rain. The air smells clean, like nature is starting fresh. And after the rain, the clouds drift away, leaving behind a sky so bright and beautiful. My best friend. I have a best friend who is always by my side. She is kind, honest, and always ready to help others. We go to the same school and sit in the same class. Every day, we walk to school together and talk about everything. She always makes me laugh, even on bad days. When I'm sad, she listens and encourages me. We study, eat lunch, and play together after school. Sometimes we argue, but we always make up quickly. She understands me more than anyone else. Being with her makes me feel happy and safe. That's why I proudly call her my best friend. I visited the zoo. I visited the zoo with my family. We saw lions, elephants, and monkeys. The peacock danced beautifully. The giraffes were very tall. We enjoy watching the animals eat and play. It was exciting to see so many different creatures. The animals looked happy and active. We took lots of photos at the zoo. My little sister was excited to see the monkeys jumping around. We bought some souvenirs from the zoo gift shop. The weather was sunny and perfect for our trip. I had a wonderful time with my family. My pet dog. I have a pet dog named Rich. He is very playful and friendly. Rich has brown and white fur that is soft and fluffy. He always wags his tail when he sees me. When I come home from school, he runs to the door to welcome me. He loves to run, jump, and chase balls in the yard. Sometimes he even catches the ball in the air. Every morning, he greets me with a happy bark. He likes to lick my face while I sit down. Rich sleeps in a little bed next to mine. At night, he keeps watch and protects our home. I feed him every day with his favorite food. I also brush his fur and give him baths. He is like a best friend to me. I love Rich very much and I'm happy to have him in my life. A beautiful garden. There is a beautiful garden near my house. It has colorful flowers and green grass. Birds sing in the trees, and butterflies fly around. The fresh air makes me feel happy. I love to sit there and enjoy nature. Gardens make the world more peaceful and lovely. I sometimes read books under the big tree. Bees buzz around the flowers, but they don't bother me. In the evening, the garden becomes quiet and calm. My friends and I like to play near the garden on weekends. Spending time in the garden makes me feel relaxed and joyful. The sun and the moon. The sun rises every morning and brings hope for a new day. It paints the sky with colors of orange, pink, and gold. At night, the moon gently lights up the darkness. Sometimes it is full and bright, other times it is just a tiny crescent. The moon guides travelers and dreamers with its soft glow. Together, the sun and the moon create a perfect balance in nature. The sun gives energy to all living things on Earth. Without the sun, life would not exist, and the world would be cold and dark. The moon controls the tides of the oceans, quietly shaping our planet. People have written songs, poems, and stories about the sun and the moon for thousands of years. They remind us of the beauty, mystery, and wonder of the universe. My favorite food. My favorite food is pizza. It is delicious and has lots of cheese. I love the crispy crust and tasty toppings. I enjoy eating pizza with my family. Sometimes, I help my mom make homemade pizza. It is fun to cook and eat my favorite food together. I like pepperoni, mushrooms, and olives on my pizza. We often have pizza on weekends or birthdays. Pizza smells amazing when it is baking in the oven. My little brother always wants the biggest slice. Pizza night is my favorite time of the week. I always feel happy when I see a baked, hot pizza on the table. Pizza brings my family together and makes every meal special. The importance of trees. Trees are like the lungs of the earth, quietly cleaning the air we breathe. Their roots hold the soil together and prevent floods and landslides. Sitting under a tree can bring peace, calm, and inspiration. Trees are home to countless insects, birds, and animals, forming a rich ecosystem. Planting a tree today is a gift for the future generations. Trees provide homes and food for wildlife all around the world. Forests filled with trees help balance the Earth's climate. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and give us clean, fresh air. In many cultures, trees are symbols of life, strength, and wisdom. Without trees, cities would be hotter, noisier, and less beautiful. A happy memory. One of my happiest memories is my birthday. My friends and family celebrated that special day with me at home. The room was decorated with colorful balloons and shiny streamers. There was a big chocolate cake with candles, and everyone sang the birthday song. I made a wish before blowing out the candles, and everyone clapped and cheered. We played fun games like musical chairs and treasure hunt. My best friend gave me a handmade card that made me smile. We ate delicious food, laughed a lot, and took many pictures together. I felt very special, happy, and truly loved. That day was full of joy, laughter, and unforgettable moments. I will always remember it as one of the best days of my life. Learn English with music. English songs are my teachers. I listen to them every day. I love the music. I love the rhythm. I listen carefully to each word. I sing along slowly, clearly. I repeat the chorus. I feel the meaning. Don't worry. Be happy. You are not alone. These lyrics stay in my mind. They live in my heart. I remember the words. I learn the sounds. I improve my listening. I improve my speaking. Music makes learning enjoyable. I feel relaxed. I feel strong. One song can teach so many things. A new word, a new phrase, a new feeling. Songs are not just for entertainment. They are lessons, and I love learning through songs. My favorite English phrase. I have a favorite English phrase. It is, "You can do it." I love these words. They are short but full of power. When I feel tired, I say, "You can do it." When I feel shy, I say, "You can do it." I repeat this phrase many times. It gives me hope. It gives me strength. I write it in my notebook. I say it before I speak English. I say it when I study. It reminds me to keep going. It reminds me to believe. Learning English is not easy, but this phrase helps me. You can do it. Yes, I can. Yes, you can. This phrase is my companion, my light, my voice of courage. TV time equals English time. I really enjoy watching English shows. At first, I didn't understand much. The speech was fast, the voices were unfamiliar. But I didn't give up. I watched with subtitles. I paused and replayed. I listened again and again. I started with simple shows, clear speech, slow talking. I copied what they said. I learned real-life English, how people talk, how they smile, how they ask questions. Shows helped me hear the music of English. I learned jokes. I learned feelings. I felt connected. One episode at a time, one sentence at a time. Watching shows is fun. Watching shows is also learning. I'm not just watching, I'm growing. Every day, with every show, English becomes more and more mine. My English morning ritual. I made a decision to study English every morning. Before breakfast, before checking my phone, I sit down. I learn. Sometimes I read, sometimes I listen, sometimes I speak. Just 10 or 15 minutes. But it's my time, quiet time, focused time. In the morning, my mind is clear. I learn faster. I remember better. This is my favorite habit. Studying English every morning makes me feel strong. It gives me a good start. It helps me grow. Even on busy days, I don't skip it. Morning English is my commitment to myself. One morning, one lesson. I see the progress. I feel the difference. Mornings are my magical time, and English is a part of it. Taming confusing words. Some English words are confusing. By and by, there and there, to and to. They sound the same, but they have completely different meanings. I used to make mistakes. I got confused. I wrote the wrong word. I said the wrong word. But I didn't give up. I made a list. I studied each pair. I put them into sentences. I read them out loud. I listen carefully. I practiced every day. Little by little, I started to understand. Those tricky words became clear. Now, when I see them, I smile. I say, I know you. At first, they fooled me. But now, I understand, confusing words are part of the journey. And I'm getting better every day. My first mistake in speaking English. I still remember my first mistake. I said he go instead of he goes. I was talking to someone, and they laughed. I felt embarrassed, my face turned red, I wanted to stop speaking. But then I smiled. I told myself, it's okay. Mistakes are part of learning, mistakes mean progress. So I repeated the sentence, he goes, I corrected myself, and I kept talking. After that day, I made many more mistakes. A lot more. And I learned from every single one. Mistakes became my teachers, they helped me grow. They reminded me that I was trying, I was learning. No mistake, no improvement. So now, I welcome mistakes, I no longer fear them. That very first mistake helped me become brave. Why I love reading kids' books. I was afraid of English. The words looked hard, the grammar confused me. I didn't know where to start. Then, I found a children's book. It was small and colorful. The sentences were short. I understood the pictures. I read one page. Then another. I smiled when I understood. I read slowly. I learned new words. I saw how sentences work. I repeated the same story many times. Each time, I understood more. I felt smarter. I felt more confident. I started speaking simple sentences. Children's books made English fun. They didn't scare me. They helped me grow. Now I read every day. It all started with a kid's book. That's why I love reading children's books. My daily English learning routine. I created a simple routine. Every day, I do English. Just 15 minutes, but I do it every day. Morning, I listen to English. Afternoon, I read a short story. Evening, I speak out loud. It's part of my life now. Like brushing my teeth, like drinking water. My routine is small, but strong. I don't skip days. I don't say, I'm too tired. I just do a little English every day. Some days I learn a lot. Some days, only a little, but I never stop. My English grows because of my routine, a little, every day. It becomes a habit, it becomes my strength. This daily routine makes me feel proud. One day, one step, always forward. Dare to speak English out loud. I used to be afraid of speaking English. My heart beat fast, my mouth stayed quiet. I knew the words, but I didn't say them. One day, I told myself, speak out loud. I was alone. I looked at the wall and said, hello, how are you? I felt silly, but I smiled. I said more. I told stories to the mirror. I asked questions to a plant. I talked to my phone. Every day, I spoke out loud. My voice grew stronger. My fear grew smaller. I didn't wait to speak perfect English. I just spoke. Mistakes didn't stop me. Silence didn't win. I found my voice in English, and now, I speak out loud, every day. Perfecting my pronunciation. I wanted to speak English more clearly. I wanted good pronunciation, so I practiced. Every day, I listened to native speakers. I copied how they said each word. I spoke slowly. I spoke loudly. I looked in the mirror and watched my mouth. Think, sink, sing. I said the words again and again. My tongue got tired. My mouth felt dry, but I didn't stop. I recorded my voice. I played it back. Sometimes I laughed, sometimes I improved. I kept practicing. English sounds are difficult, but I can learn them, one sound at a time. I learned to say world, girl, through. It takes time, but I'm proud of my progress. My grammar journey. Grammar used to be hard for me. At first, I didn't understand anything. Past tense, present tense, future tense, they all confused me. I made mistakes, many mistakes. But I kept going. I read grammar books. I watched grammar videos. I repeated simple sentences. I go, I went, I will go, again and again. It was slow. It wasn't easy, but I didn't stop. I told myself, mistakes are okay. I laughed at my own errors. I learned from every one of them. Every day, I improved. One small rule at a time. Grammar is still tricky, but now, I'm not afraid of it. I face it with practice. I face it with patience. I struggled, but I learned.